The confidence building training, it lasted over a period of 9 days. And we trained about 60 women in total. Some of them were combatant soldiers, some of them are female personnel working in the civilian wing and also in the medical field.
Closer to your mouth, it'll sound better. Thank you.
Is it better now?
Yes.
Okay, the training lasted for about 9 days, the confidence building training and also the advanced negotiation training, and we were able to train about 60 women in total. Some of them came from the combatant wing and some of them came from civilian and medical wing of the army.
In terms of psychosocial healing or psycho healing, this is one real big area that, if you're looking for professionals doing that kind of work, we don't have. What we do, and I think Blanche made mention to it, is that most often, the way we start with the girls' training, we do dialogues. But we've already done an assessment of the communities to understand what is the major issue. For example, when we did Monrovia, we looked at the UN Security Council Resolution 1325. We knew girls coming to that training had no idea on the Resolution 1325, but we wanted to tease out the peace and security issues that were affecting them because we already knew what some of the issues were. So we come to a dialogue and we invite an expert. So you have 50 girls in the room, one female, and then women from their communities sitting in the back to give support. And this expert stands up there and talk about some of the issues. So it's supposed to be a collective dialogue. There are people like myself in the room who have gone through some of the issues and were able to share real life experience. Of course, you know, in that crowd, no girl is going to stand up and say, this is my issue. Then we break the team up after like 2 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes into a group of 5 or 10. In that small group, the issues now come out. Again, you may get some of the girls to not say anything. By the time, because this is a whole day process, by the time the day is ending, there's telephone numbers of the women that have sat in the small groups. By night time, you have all of the issues. And then these women are now the ones who listen to their stories and try to tell them. When we did Monrovia, I thought it was 2008, I still remember vividly that some of the issues that came out were issues relating to girls as young as 14 living in the homes with relatives who were sexually assaulting them every night. And they could not say anything because their relatives, their parents were in the villages and they were the hope to finish high school and give their mothers a better life. There was one handicapped young woman from the Muslim community who was very brilliant. The family felt like, what was the use of her continuing high school? She was handicapped. She would never, so their whole perception of a disabled person was that they could not do anything good. So she was being pressured to marry a 45-year-old. So you get all of these different stories. Sadly, we do not have the capacity to, all we can do is sit, listen to them, because when we go to the next round, it's a live-in kind of place. So that we have the opportunity to interact with these girls. They tell their story, we tell our stories. And most times, specifically for me, my story has not been a story of bread and butter. So it speaks to their lives, and sometimes it's like just a form of encouragement, but nothing to take them from, that state to another state. The third question?
Secondary education, and what are the barriers?
My question was more, I know pregnancy is a big issue, but so is menstruation, so is facing harassment, there's just so many, where do you start?
I wasn't even going to go in that direction with you, Mike. One of the things we realized with the girls in the communities that we work with was that in Liberia, like most of our African countries, you have free primary education. So you have a huge surge in the enrollment of girls in the primary section. By the time they're going to junior high, parents have to do an analysis of who will benefit them the most going to junior high school. And of course it's the boy. Because by the time she's 13, she's able to get pregnant, it will be a waste of my money. We had a session with the president of Liberia, the girls, just before elections. And everyone was talking about the dismal numbers, the retention rates, and how low it was of girls in junior high school. Like your question, an impediment to going to secondary school. You have to pass junior high in order to make it to secondary. And since most of their parents were not sending them to junior high school, of course they were not making it to secondary school. So they said to the president, Madam President, if you really and truly are interested in girls in Liberia, let junior high education also be free. So then by that time, between 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, we would have proven ourselves to our parents, and they would be really eager to invest in us by 10th, 11th, and 12th grades. So then, just before elections, they passed free junior high education in Liberia. That is the biggest impediment. Not the menstruation, the sexual harassment, all of those other social issues. The major issue is structural. How communities invest in education. And in most cases, in communities or in countries, I would think that if they say beyond primary, secondary education is free for girls. Junior high education is free for girls. These girls would have proven themselves and their parents would be prepared. We'll have a stronger case now to invest in them. So yes, we have those issues, but the whole issue of finances, the policies and all of those different things is a major impediment to girls going to senior high school.